Right, we're hot to trot here at Aldebaran Park, and I am catching up with Mel Thackery. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Very good. We've got our strapper behind us as well. He's doing the backyard work there. Of course, he's got Mari Time with him, who is very heavily in foal.
She is.
She looks a treat, doesn't she?
She's beautiful. Her picture says it all.
Yeah. She's in foal to
Calgary Games.
Exciting new stallion. There's a couple going to come on the ground here, and we'll get to know a little bit more about those from next year onwards. But I mean, the breeding, the horses you get to play with, I suppose, if it's nice.
Play with, look after, take care of.
It's just ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Mares like this mare, like she is the fastest mare in Australia. She's got the Australian record, I think. Duncan, is that right?
She's got the Australian record.
Yeah, 51 and a half around Menangle, and I know he's had a horse go up there. Zeus tried to beat it a couple of times, but we should have him on the camera more off. We've got Ravani. She's just had a Walner foal. Little colt, beautiful colt.
He's a ripper.
Yeah, he was in my face. He's got a lot of character about him.
He does. He's just got presence. He's got it all. Yeah.
And then across the road from us, I forgot their names already, but
Aldebaran Teal, who's in foal to Walner as well.
Yep.
Due next month. And then Aldebaran Bardo, which is Maritime's daughter, in foal to Calgary Games.
Another to Calgary. So you're going to get two
Calgary Games.
Very closely related. The bloodlines, what they're doing here at Aldebaran Park, it's amazing with the horses that they've got and been able to get them out and around. But it's got to be so cool. Like this mare's got winners in America.
And then she's got another one running in Sweden.
Yeah.
So, and then her third one is a little colt we brought over with her as well.
Yeah, and he's here. Does he go through the sales? Or
No, Duncan's keeping him.
Yeah, so he's here raising and getting ready. So he'll hit the ground here with our racing. The other bloke bought today, I would imagine he's the same thing that he'll be keeping him.
He's a keeper. Yep.
Yeah, and keeping them. Do you enjoy it?
Yes, but it's long hours, as everyone knows. And if you didn't enjoy it, you wouldn't do it.
The stress levels, like Dunk's pretty chilled, but do you still get stressed? I mean...
Oh, of course you do when you've got, the amount of time, effort and expense that goes into it. Of course you get nervous, you get uptight, you stress about everything's going to be okay.
Do you did you see yourself doing this 5-6 years ago? Well, you probably were here 5-6 years, but maybe 10 years ago, did you see yourself working on an all trotting farm?
No. Oh. No, because we were originally pacers, but now we're both. Yeah. I enjoy it both.
You're watching the trotters now a little bit differently?
I do watch them a little bit more. Yeah.
They're amazing, aren't they? Like the speeds they go. Duncan and I was talking about Bendigo the other day, and there's two horses dead eat going 58.9 over 2100. It's just ridiculous, and they all just trot.
They do, yeah. If you're not natural, it's not going to happen.
No. Stallions here as well. We've got to make sure we mention those guys.
Dancing in the Dark, we're doing him here and New Zealand. Yep. And then Aldebaran Eagles frozen in New Zealand and Sky Valley.
Yeah, and Sky Valley's only available in Australia as fresh chilled semen.
Yes, very much so.
The boys are good. Sky Valley, he's just an old marvel. I know he's still here, but he must be fun also to have around the place.
Oh, he's a dude. He still keeps you on your toes. He acts like a 2-year-old, not a 20-year-old.
Yeah. He's a beautiful horse, and he's done a beautiful job. Mel, if anyone wants to get in touch with yourself and Danny, just give us a call.
Just call us on Danny's number or the website number, and we're happy to help.
I saw a few of the dance colts out there before, and fillies actually. Beautiful types, really athletic.
They are, yeah. So hopefully, he just leaves his mark. Yeah.
Nice horse going places. Mel, thank you. I know you don't enjoy this. You're going to have to get used to it because hot to trot. Dunks, we're going to be getting the brand out there. We've got yearlings to sell right through the yearling sales, but we want to promote the trotter, get people invested in the trotter and enjoy this great sport that we all love.
Yeah, no, very true.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Right, Duncan McPherson joins me now. Mate, you must be wrapped having people like Mel and Danny. They're looking after the horses and the job that they do for you.
Yeah, look, Mel and Danny have been there. They're reminding me now it's 10 years in February. So time flies when you're having fun, and we've had a absolutely fantastic relationship through the farm and obviously through the horses that both we've raced together, but also that we've shared in selling and watching the vendoring and at the sales, and obviously producing all the Group 1 winners that they've had over the last years coming out of the farm. So they do an absolutely fantastic job. They're great horse people, and we've both looked after each other's mutual interests over the journey.
We might do, Dunk. We might start with the stallions. There is an important thing we want to do too for Bendigo, so we want to make sure people are there. We've just got a few. We're not going to be as long as what you and I can do. There's just a few key points to get out there, and one of these one of these revolves around Aldebaran Eagle, and he's available as frozen semen in New Zealand at $3,450.
Yep.
Sorry, Dunk, you're just going to have to bear with me because I got off the screen that I shouldn't have got off to. There it is. There, 2 winners in South Australia this week. We will start with Aldebaran Styles, who brought up win number 11. Just been a terrific horse for you guys over the journey, and he's not that old either. Like that's the beauty of this horse. He's only a young horse, and just continues to do a great job there in South Australia.
Yeah, he's a 4-year-old. He started off his career at with Jeff Webster, and I think he had a win here in Victoria. And Jeff has done a fantastic job with a number of our horses from the Aldebaran Park team. And Styles went across. This was his 3rd run back. We rushed him to get back for the SA Trotters Cup, and he was probably a bit underdone. But Danny Hill has an affinity with him, and to come off 30 metres and loop the field and come 4 wide round the bend, Styles did a great job. So he was only 3rd up. So we're looking forward to a pretty good summer campaign with him. And as you say, an Aldebaran Eagle progeny with 11 wins. It's just a great result for Ryan Horick and Danny Hill, and also the farm over in South Australia. And I think if you look genetically at him, he's out of Sundonna, who's Mary Time's mother. So, all things being equal, he should get better with age.
Just on that too, because he's a Sundon out of a smooth fellow horse, which that's a bit of a curveball. But the Sundon with the New Zealanders, with so many of the Kiwis there looking at these horses, they need to be aware that he is a Sundon mix, and it does work. It's one of those crosses that is working.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we all know how good Sundon was, and we know genetically what an imprint he's left in Southern Hemispherical trotting. But you've also got to remember Aldebaran Eagle, his 5th dam sitting in there at there's a genetic link with Game Pride. I hope I'm right. I get too many genetics in my mind, but there's a genetical link there, and New Zealand breeders who have gone with that family line along with the Sundon cross. There's every opportunity for success in New Zealand. And as you say, 2 winners in 3 days, both juveniles, and obviously he had a Group 1 place getter the other night as well with Gatesy's Gem. I think is showing re-offender now.
Yep, he's just been outstanding, and with the Kiwis, he's out of the Dream Vacation mare as well. So
yes,
but this is ridiculous. 59.5. These 2 trotters trot their last half in. He's a winner, Dunk. That's one thing you can say about him. The other little horse had him skirting along. They are 2-year-olds, but I think the inside horse has won 4 and he's won 5 now. So they're 2 quality trotters, but he's a winner.
Yeah, 4 from 5. I mean, as he gets to the line well. He's quite balanced like his father was, and you can see why he's doing what he's doing. But for any juvenile trotter in any jurisdiction, 4 out of 5 is a great result. And as you said, those 2 went head to head. They're obviously at the upper level of the 2-year-old trotters over in South Australia. And whilst we might, spruik the times and the genetics in South Australia, and so we're better here in Victoria. I mean, they're running 2, 2, 2, 3 from the stands and that sort of thing in South Australia. So don't kid yourselves, the horses in South Australia and compliments to the people in South Australia that are breeding and looking after the trotters. And we've got some. So Jeff Easham's been a fantastic supporter of Aldebaran Park over the term, and to go to South Australia for the Cup the other night and run into Jeff and run into Gary Crocker and also have Mario Borg come up, who's been a great supporter of the Sky Valley line, and who was Matt Maguire. So there's a number of breeders in South Australia that have consistently bred to our genetics, being Sky Valley and Aldebaran Eagle. But to get those results that they're getting over there at the moment, as far as the farm's concerned, and as you say, 2 Aldebaran Eagles in consecutive days in South Australia, a 4-time winner and an 11-time winner, and they're all young horses, then the future's good for both of them, whether they stay in South Australia or they come over and cross the border and come to Victoria. And might I add, Aldebaran Dexter, who's won 16, he's back in work, and Ryan Horick says that he's never trained better, and he's now a 5-year-old. So, and that of the first crop of Aldebaran Eagles. So there's obviously some improvement left in all those horses, and we're looking forward to it with great expectation. But to the New Zealand breeders, yep, look, he's available in New Zealand, and he just keeps doing the job here. And as Andrew Fitzgerald says, another day and another Aldebaran Eagle winner.
Yep, and as I said, Dream Vacation and Sundon, so 2 very good crosses.
Yeah.
For the Aussies, Sky Valley, he is there, he's available, looks outstanding. The video footage I put up there in that interview with Mel, he is a marvel. He doesn't look 20, does he?
No, and to think that he keeps doing it. I mean, he had 3 winners again in 3 days. I mean, Saloon won over in Western Australia, who was bred here in Victoria. Who else do we have? Kai Valley Honey got her lifetime mark of 58.3 when she won at Geelong last Friday night. And the third one was Minnie Mez, and Minnie Mez had a 3-year-old filly broke her maiden status after 3 consecutive seconds. So whether they're 3, whether they're 6, whether they're 2, and he had, I think, 6 horses in the Breeders' Crown of the 2 and 3-year-olds here in Victoria. For a horse who's 20 years of age or 17 years of age when he impregnated those mares, to continue to put Group 1 opportunity in front of breeders at his service fee, it's an amazing outcome.
No, it is indeed. And then, of course, we have Dancing in the Dark M available in Australia and New Zealand, and plenty of foals getting on the ground. He throws a type, Dunk. They're beautiful types, and the Kiwis are very, very excited about them.
Well, you got to see them firsthand at Aldebaran Park when all the yearlings racked themselves up on the fence. So you're your own judge. And we've just done, when I was over in New Zealand recently, I went to the New Zealand Breeders' Awards there just the night before the New Zealand Trotting Cup, and 4 of the astute breeders came up to me and were delighted with their foals, and we've actually taken photos of those foals, and they'll be used in the brochure ad that goes in the nutrient sales catalogue, which I've just signed off on today as far as advertising goes. But there's, Brent Lilly's bred here. There's a couple down in Tall Tree Stud, and the owners have continued to support Dancing in the Dark. And Kirk Larson's bred to Dancing in the Dark down south this year. Another breeder came back for the second time with Until Now up in Auckland. So from the top of New Zealand to the bottom of New Zealand, there's interest in Dancing in the Dark. And I guess we put a fair bit of effort into marketing and supporting the Oaks and other races in New Zealand for the juvenile trotters. And I guess that, what we put in, hopefully people will reciprocate and come and support the stallion.
We will touch on those trotters in a minute. One thing I do want to get out, this was one of the important ones I wanted to make sure people are aware of. The Gavin and Graham Lang Trotting Miles next Wednesday, so 8 days' time. We're recording this on a Tuesday night. It'll probably go up Wednesday morning, but it's Wednesday the 27th. $20,000 stake money. Going to be a fantastic night, and I know you're excited about it. We want to make these races just grow and become part of the dynasty of harness racing. Dunk.
Yeah, I mean, we came up with a concept with Eric Hendricks at Bendigo a few years ago. This is, I think, the 3rd or the 4th of these. It's an all-trotting night, which I've always been advocating that we need to showcase the trotter. We took it to Bendigo, and these are flying miles for the juvenile trotters again, to create stud book opportunity, black type themselves, and also assist in their broodmare saleability of future progeny. So, and obviously, of course, to recognise 2 great people, Graham and Gavin Lang, who had a very close affiliation with my father and myself over the term. And, I grew up with Gavin and Chris when we were little blokes, 3 to 5 years of age when we first got together. And, what are we now? I'm in my early 60s, so it's a 60-year dynasty in relationship with the Lang family, and I look forward to seeing, a fair few of the family have been invited. I know Eric has extended an invitation, and I look forward to renewing friendships with those people and acknowledging the contribution of both those gentlemen on the night at Bendigo, which will be a fantastic evening. The
2-year-olds, I'll do it this way here. The 2-year-old trots are worth $20,000. And there's 2 3-year-old trots on there, the Wagon Apollo and the Scotch Notch for over the mile as well for $10,000. And the idea is to set a mark, Duncan. There's no hiding that. It's not to necessarily smash the clock, but try and set a PB or something that will help these horses going to the breeding barn. If they can set a track record, that's even better. World record would be out of the world, but it's actually to help, especially the fillies, set a mark for later on in life when they go to the breeding barn.
Yeah, and it's an opportunity. It's probably they're the last of what we would call recognised stake racing or prestige racing opportunities for the juveniles in Victoria. We've had Vic Bred, we've had Breeders' Crown, we've had all those, and I think this is an initiative to create opportunity and a throw at the stumps, if you like, for owners and breeders and trainers and drivers to all aggregate together and enjoy each other's company on the night. And as you said, they've named the Scotch Notch and the Wagon Apollo. So Eric's and the team at Bendigo and their committee have seen it just to acknowledge some of the wonderful horses that Graham and Gavin were associated with, and it's a night of celebration of the trotter.
Going to be a little bit self-indulgent here for 1 second, Duncan. I'm going to throw this one in as well. This is on the 18th of December, the Elmore meeting. They've put on a $6,000 Graham Johansson Memorial 2-year-old maiden trot. The reason I'm putting this on is because people will get their first win bonus as well on top of that. It will be what could be one of the last chances to get it this year. It also is over the 1,650 metres, but celebrating another great name in the industry, and it's great that it's going to be at Bendigo as well. So I want people to be aware of that. We want them to keep these 2-year-olds in work and racing and make sure these fields stand up. But I'm sure Graham and Gavin Lang won't mind Graham Johansson's name being mentioned in the same breath as them, because they were all great mates.
Yeah, and I think that's what it's about. And as you've correctly said, people that have been associated with the trotter over the long haul, whether it's a maiden or whether it's a $20,000 race, there's opportunities aplenty for the industry. And I'm hoping that the industry will come out and will support these initiatives late in the season. And they're all there for a reason. And, it's just because you don't, you might necessarily have a Group 1 winner, but there's plenty of other opportunities available to you as horse owners and trainers and drivers to not only achieve your bonuses, but to also, earn your living and do what you need to do and acknowledge the contribution of these people on and off the track.
And it's a celebration. I unfortunately can't be there. I'll be in Queensland, but it is also a celebration of what the guys have done for this industry, and we must make sure we remember that. Before I do let you go, mate, and I don't want to hold you too long, but I noticed you're chasing the shadows, or you're moving away from the shadows. You're doing pretty good on this camera job.
There you go. That's better. I can see you now.
Yeah, the shadows are getting you. Just the trotters over the last few days, few weeks. You went to New Zealand for the Dominion, and the trotters free for all. You're at Breeders' Crown night the other night. They just keep stepping up. They keep, when you think you don't see any better, all of a sudden another one will step up. It's just ridiculous, isn't it?
Oh, I think what the trotters have done, and I think New Zealand proved it. I mean, Kiyang Zahara went across, and I mean she's a globally competitive filly, and as astute Mr. Chris Elford said, she could probably win a free-for-all if she wanted to go around in it. That's how good she is. And then to see Just Believe, I mean, we all have to acknowledge he is a superstar and one of the best in the world. But then Oscar Bonavena got off the canvas and beat him on the Friday. So it just goes to show, A, they're all beatable, and B, how lucky are we that we've got a horse that in Oscar Bonavena who's, I think, 8 years of age, that can step up and be competitive against one of the best horses in the world and knock him over. But also congratulations to the other participants that went across from Australia. I mean, Ashley Haynes and Chris Venozio had the fortitude and the vision to take RC Phoenix across. He ran 2 fourths in very competitive, being very competitive in world-class company. And I think that the New Zealanders, congratulations to them, the programming that they put into place to put that race on Cup Day and then have the free-for-all again on the Friday. They've got a carnival there that I'm sure now, along with the slot races, will be on everybody's calendar. And all we've got to do in Australia, and I've said it before, is align our meetings so that everyone has the opportunity to compete, knowing we can't win everything. But by heck, we've got a massive opportunity for the trotters to have a circuit that is world-renowned and possible to then, again, continue to attract investment from the Northern Hemisphere.
Yeah, and we've actually seen that, unfortunately, happen a little bit, where a couple of horses now are holding back for the Inter-Dominion next year because it's a 6-month turnaround, and I think we need to be aware when we decide to do something what ramifications that might actually have. So I think that's, it's going to be good for Queensland. I've got no doubt about that. It's probably going to be good for New Zealand as well, but unfortunately the New South Wales Inter-Dominion is going to be robbed of a few of those. But from that, it gives other horses a chance to step up.
Yeah, but it's timing. And as I say, you can't win everything. And we've got to, as we say, if we all share the spoils, whether it be at any level of harness racing and any level of participation, whether it's a country cup, whether it be Bort or Charlton or Sanarnet or wherever it may be, there's an opportunity for everybody in the trotting gate. And I think that if we can share the spoils amongst everyone in our trotting section of our industry, then we're going to be better for it. And, when you've got genetics such as, you end up with 16 heats of Vic bred and 12 different stallions aspiring winners, I mean, it just goes to show that the pool is open for any level of participation. And then to have, as you've extolled earlier, to have these trotting races available with bonuses late in the season for people whose 2-year-olds may not have been ready earlier, in the year. But I tell you what, if you can pack November and December and punch through some of that and pick up your Vic Bread bonus and a win in the next 6 or 8 weeks down here in Victoria, then everybody should be delighted.
Yeah, totally agree. Breeders' Crown, Dunk, run and one. Started off with a bang with Jared Maloney, a great mate of yours, owning a small share in Valtino. I know there's money's an issue and all the rest, but when you see the joy on their face, Greg Sugars didn't even drive it, the joy on people's face, winning these races, getting a carriage ride, we need to do something somehow to maintain the Breeders' Crown in some form, I believe, anyway, because you just saw the joy. Jared Maloney, he didn't let that trophy go. You were there most of the night. You saw him walking around. He wasn't giving that up for anyone.
I think he slept with it, to be honest. But I mean, these. I mean, as much as we've got some prize money issues in Victoria, and it's only momentary, I'm sure that the powers to be and those in charge of our industry have got a plan, and there will be a plan. But I think we've also got to be acknowledging of the level of prize money in certain grades and certain levels of racing need to be maintained. We've got a lot of professional people as well as amateurs and a lot of participants who are hobbyists, and I understand everyone needs to get a slice of the pie, but for the professional owners, the professional breeders, the trainers and the drivers, upper end prize money, as much as we think that it needs to be dispersed, it also needs to be there because they don't have supplementary income, some of these professional trainers and drivers, and there are a number of them in Victoria associated with the trotters, and I just implore Harness Racing Victoria to ensure that upper level prize money from a global view, and I've always been on about internationalisation and globalisation of the sport, we need to maintain some sacrosanct races that have global attention, and Breeders' Crown, Vic Bred, Great Southern Star, Inter Dominion, and Australian Trotting Grand Prix and these sorts of things. These are the time-honoured races that we need to preserve, and if we need to disperse the pie with some metropolitan reductions, then that may be in consideration. But some of these time-honoured races have got to maintain their levels of prize money for those professional investors and also the professional participants in our industry. And
encourage breeding and put us on that world stage. Because I will say a brand name, Breeders' Crown, is a great brand name, because if you type it in a Google search right now, you could get something from Melton the other night. You will get a lot from the US. So it is a brand name.
You'll get Sweden. I mean, it's all around Breeders' Crown. Breeders' Crowns are all around the world, and whether they're 2- and 3-year-old or they're 4-year-old in Sweden, whatever the case may be, everybody around the world knows there's a Breeders' Crown in your jurisdiction, and these are the global races that we've always been talking about, and we need to make sure that we're front and square and attracting interest and investment interest from the Northern Hemisphere, both with the horses that they may acquire, they may send here. They may take shares in, but importantly, that they've got stallion genetics that they want their breeders and their horses to win Breeders' Crowns, and these are marketable opportunities for these stud farms, whether they be in France or Sweden, where Pat has relationships and Aldebaran relationships in order to attract that semen down here from Europe. They look at Breeders' Crown, they look at the major races, and for them, the prize money and the reward and the prestige needs to be there for us to continue to create opportunity to bring these genetics down here.
Well said. Leave you with one little side note before we go with the Hot to Trot. Oscar Bonavino might have had a collection the day of the Trotters Free-for-All. There's an international sort of feel to it, isn't it?
Oh, well, the good news is that some of Oscar Bonavina's half-sisters are already patronising Aldebaran Eagle and Dancing in the Dark. So there is light at both tunnels, may I say. But no, I mean, that's exciting as well. And I mean, this is where the trotting gate, and I'm sure that, give us another 3 to 5 years, and I'm very hopeful that some of our trotting stallions, and we've got enough genetics down here to be able to stand some of these horses of our own very right. I'm hoping that we can do what the Europeans do, and that is race our stallions, collect our stallions and breed with our stallions while we're racing them. And that's what they've done with Maharaja. I mean, Redley Express and Calgary Games, these are all horses that come out of the Menhammer barn, and they've all raced and stood in the same season. So that's another hurdle, if you like, or another challenge that both Pat and I are trying to rise to. And if we can get to that level down here, then who knows, it creates other opportunities for horses to come down here, not just to stand as stallions, but to race as well.
No, totally agree. Duncan, we're hot to trot here at Aldebaran Park, mate. Thank you very much.
Absolute pleasure, and fresh as best. Anybody's our stallions for the balance of the next 6 or 8 weeks, it's a phone call away. More than happy to talk to anyone and deal with what we need to deal with.
Those numbers will come on the screen right now.